So the DCEU is kind of dead.
Overrevved, second variable.
It's not even a day into the year and we're already getting bad news from WB. Apparently, WB DC is not moving forward with the DCEU. Instead, they're planning to erase the universe and create a brand new universe from Flashpoint. All of this info is coming from Grace Randolph and her source.
As I've told you, with Update, The Flash Affleck's final appearance, old footage of Cavill used on TV, new Justice League formed, Supergirl as new Superman, Keaton working with Black Canary, picks Batgirl as new Batman. This is new DC. Let's be open-minded, give it a fair shot. The Keaton Black Canary and Batgirl stuff obviously happens in her movie. To clarify, it's absolutely no fun to cover all these upcoming DC movies from a hateful perspective. It's just too draining. So, yeah, to give you my perspective, I'm gonna try my best to soldier on.
You what?
Now, we should all take this with a grain of salt because not all of Grace's recent news have been legit. But for a while, there's been speculation that the Flash movie would end up being Flashpoint. And with the recent trailers and the adding of Michael Keaton, it makes sense. In addition to that, a producer for the Batman also confirmed that Robert Pattinson's Batman would not be a part of this new universe or even the previous universe. It will have its own continuity, which with the direction of how things are going with the new DCEU, I am pretty much happy with that. Now, with that being said, I am disappointed with how everything's going to end up. But all of the hate that Snyder got for his unique universe, it's really sad and unfortunate that WB will not be continuing anything associated with the Snyderverse except for some actors that he was able to introduce. And for that, I personally blame the fans, not the fans who are actually attempting to get it restarted, just the people who looked at it once and thought this was a bad film. A lot of people shitted on Man of Steel, shitted on Batman v Superman, and didn't even want the Snyder version of Justice League. And I will say I was a part of that camp when it came to Justice League because I didn't think there was anything more. But thankfully, there were some fans who were able to get this done. And it's especially unfortunate for them for the fact that they got it so far, but this is maybe where it dies. And that's where my heart is as a fan. But logically, it makes sense on what they're doing here. Now, I'm no WB shill, even though I really like a lot of WB films and a lot of things that is under the WB umbrella, but there are a lot of factors here when you think about it. For one, a lot of these actors are getting older. We have not established this universe enough for WB to say we can stick around with it. We had a few films, most of which have been pretty much somewhat successful, but critically panned. We have Suicide Squad that's been hated. BVS is not quite loved, even when pretty much most fans will say that this is a great film and it's better understood through the director's cut. But getting back to the main topic, out of all these DC films, there are less than a handful of critically acclaimed and viable films that they can continue with. But that doesn't necessarily mean I agree with their new changes of this new Justice League. Batgirl is a great character and I'm excited for her new film that will be coming out. But that doesn't mean that we want her to be the new Batman. For some reason, the studios continue to believe that if you swap the sex of the character, that makes the series better. And they're gonna learn the hard way because some fans are really not about it, and the people who actually go to see it won't actually pay to watch it. And that's why I believe they actually put this on HBO Max, so that they can play it off as, oh, it's not based in the same universe, or they're not going to continue with this as the main Batman. But again, this is why I said to take things with a grain of salt with this rumor, because I don't see WB making this mistake a second time. They already made this mistake with Birds of Prey. They completely messed that movie up by introducing characters that should have never been in that film. I think we should still give this a shot, mainly because this is the same reaction that people were giving at the beginning of the Snyderverse. At the very beginning, people were shitting on Affleck. At the very beginning, people did not like Henry Cavill as Superman. At the very beginning, people thought Gal Gadot was too skinny. At the very beginning, people did not like how Ezra Miller ran and the fact that he was joking, which is probably still stands. Please don't do that in Flashpoint. And the overall hate was pinned on Zack Snyder. Overall, I think this is a good new beginning. If they're planning to do this right, they're erasing the slate, bringing in new characters that fans have been asking for, to be fair, because people have been asking for Batgirl, people have been asking for Nightwing, and with the Snyderverse, that wasn't going to be pretty much possible until maybe the end if they're going to do Batgirl. But from what I heard, it did not seem like Batgirl or Robin was going to be a thing. Lastly, I just want to bring up one last thing, because I was watching the K-Wing stream and he was talking about how No Way Home was a blueprint for how WB should make Flashpoint, where two actors are able to interact. And please don't do that. Please don't do that. If the story compels it for these two characters to interact, that is great. But if they have to completely destroy the entire story just so these two actors can just shake hands and do quirky things, that's not DC. That's Marvel. And that's Marvel light. Because Marvel comics and Marvel games, Marvel animated series, they don't do stupidness like that. They'll have these small moments for fun, but overall the story would be good. We don't want that in Flashpoint. We want actual good storytelling with a really good ending that pulls at your heartstrings, and then we finally see a peak of the new universe that DC is planning to move forward with.